Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, and I love the movie. And if you said, who's your favorite actor? I don't know that Jim Carrey would come up just naturally. But when I think of my favorite movies of all time, he's in all three of my top 3 or 4. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is probably at 3. Truman Show is probably at 2. And the Andy Kaufman Man on the Moon's at 1.
Oh, yeah. And Ace Ventura.
Now it would be my top, but I did like it when I was a kid. But Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is all about, would you wipe out bad memories if you could? Would you remove, I'm not even saying traumatic, but just bad experiences if you could? And so that was 2004. So if you go to today, this is from the New York Post. Dr. Jonathan Rassouli, a neurosurgeon at Northwest Staten Island University, says 3 emerging treatments are changing with how we interact with memories. So there's something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. So think of it as jumper cables, because that's kind of what it looks like. It uses magnetic pulses to stimulate mood-related brain regions. It's already being used for treatment-resistant depression, meaning people that are depressed, but it doesn't matter what they give them, they cannot, like, the medicine's not helping them. Mm-hmm. And so this is rewiring how we emotionally process certain memories. So this is jumper cables on the head. That's one. Number 2, DBS, deep brain stimulation. It's an internal brain pacemaker involving implanted electrodes. It's used for serious conditions like Parkinson's, OCD, and major depression, and also might help reduce emotional intensity around traumatic memories. Very invasive, because you got to cut your head and put that in there.
Yeah.
But think about this. You're going, wow, that's crazy. They put a pacemaker in your head. Think about the first time they said, we're going to put this in your heart. Oh, yeah. Like brain and heart, very similar in like how much they mean to us to live. Like these are the 2 things we need. And then number 3 is propanol therapy. The blood pressure. Oh, it's the medicine. Okay, so I know what that is. It's blood pressure medicine. So it's been found to dull the emotional intensity of traumatic memories. This is the closest they say they've come to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a full-on erasure. Instead of forgetting your ex, it just won't hurt as much to remember them. Mm. So these are 3 different ways, all independent of each other, that can somewhat mimic what the movie could do fully. I'd be all about the shocks, but that just reminds me of like what they used to do to people back in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah,
shock therapy.
They just
like
shock the piss out of them. They're like, you're sad? Shock.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I don't think you're going to feel it.
Is that what you bought me for my birthday? Which one of these?
Similar.
Transcranial magnetic stimulation?
Yeah, it's sort of like you're being, like shocked. The way I would describe it too, or it's been described to me about what's happening with the rewiring of the brain using the electrodes is like when your heart is out of rhythm and you shock it back into rhythm.
Oh, imagine the first time that's told to somebody. That's a great point.
Right.
Yeah.
So my brain person has even said it's almost like if your brain is out of rhythm, not functioning the way we want it to, we shock it back in to operating as it should, because certain parts of your brain during traumatic events shut down, go to sleep, and you can wake them up.
That's wild. Now, it's not wild right now because it's been happening for so long, but the first person that's told that, hey, we're going to shock your heart.
Right.
And we're going to make it beat differently.
But isn't that usually before they die? Like, was last resort, we're going to shock your heart?
Maybe, but
when
the
you're...
people that discovered the X-ray that figured it out, like they died doing it. But
no.
Yeah, because all the
bad stuff.
Radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Didn't he have his wife like?
Yeah, they all. I mean,
that sucks.
But I would imagine that's not a before they die type thing.
No, that's like
No, he's saying the first time.
Oh, the first time.
The first time they did hey, we're going to shock your heart to get it back in rhythm.
I don't know. Maybe though.
I
I
think it's like you're dying. Yeah, go for it. Shock me.
I would just think it's somebody who figures it out and is like, I give $500 to somebody who lets me do it. Like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of those two, right? William Conrad Wrongton. He discovered X-rays. He died of colorectal cancer. He did extensively experiment with X-rays. The dangers of radiation were well not understood in his time. They say he took steps to protect himself. What about his wife, though, too? Because
he'd make her do it.
I don't know.
Right?
I just remember something about her, but...
Yeah. And so he did die of that cancer, and the whole debate now is that what caused the cancer? Know what I mean?
All signs point to yes.
So I had the first use of the defibrillator documented. So maybe there's other times that are undocumented.
I bet the first defibrillator was not documented and was accidental.
Oh.
like a lightning bolt on a caveman or something.
Right.
Like,
He's alive again.
back. Yeah. But yeah, I would have to be one of the two, like somebody offering money to somebody or somebody, that's probably their heart's really effed up. And
Yeah, it was for the first documented use was by Dr. Claude Beck in 1947. It was used to restart the heart of a 14-year-old boy undergoing open chest surgery.
The wife of that guy, they say, did not die from radiation.
Oh.
She underwent the world's first X-ray on her hand in 1895, and her reaction was likely due to the novelty of the experience and not from radiation sickness. She passed away from chronic illnesses.
What chronic illnesses?
But in 1895, anything is a chronic illness. You get a cold, you probably die.
That's crazy.
But why didn't bro X-ray his own hand? Like, why his wife?
He's probably running the
wanted to
machine.
help.
Yeah, someone has to hit the
You
button,
got to push
dude.
the button, man.
Come on.
That's gutsy to be like, hey, wife, put your hand there. I'm going to
Well,
try
I don't
something on
think
you.
they understood.
Yeah,
Well,
she was probably wanting to be a part of his work, I think.
Ooh, I don't know.
or it's, hey, if this works, we're going to buy a bigger house.
Right. So she sticks her hand in there.
And
All right.
I don't have to pay somebody to come do this. Did you ever happen when the guy paid the guy to get his heart trimmed? He died immediately. Yeah. So I don't know. All that brain stuff. I think for me, it's easy to go. My trauma has shaped me because I don't have sexual trauma, and I think if that were the case, I'd probably be all about it.
Yeah.
For me. Like I have trauma that has absolutely affected healthy and unhealthy ways that I live my life now. And I'm very grateful for most of it at this point because I think it's put me here. But I don't have like sexual trauma where I think I probably would want to eliminate that.
Yeah, I'm thinking sexual trauma, war trauma.
Oh, man, yeah.
Yeah, especially war trauma that affects your day to day, like
Yes.
with people like crazy PTSD. Yeah, I could sign up for that one.
Yeah.
But all that brain stuff, that's pretty wild, man.
Have you called them yet?
I don't have their number.
Oh, okay.
You didn't send me their number. You just said it's good to go.
It is good to go. So let me send you. You're going to have to call, though, because I don't know what information you want me to give them.
Are they
and
really
I'm
going to
not-
shock me?
They're going to put electrodes on your brain. So, yes, but you don't feel the shock. Like things are happening, but you don't feel it.
I want to do LSD.
The wavelengths are like
Hold
when
on. Amy, let him talk.
Okay, I also am.
What'd you just say?
I also can support this.
I want to do acid.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I want to do LSD. I've never done a drug. I still think my idea of a show, Bobby Does Drugs, is a hit. Because here you go. It's like, here's this guy's never done anything like this, and he's going to do it for the first time. And it's like, okay, here he is, drinking a 6-pack. And it's me drinking it, then just me after if I'm drunk or whatever. I do shots, whatever it is. Like I go out with the boys.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we see the next one up. It's like, all right. The thing about smoking, though, I don't like heat. I don't even like drinking hot stuff. I don't think I would like to smoke anything. Like, even if there wasn't, like, even like what do they call it, hookah with nothing in it, no tobacco, because they can just put, I don't know, flavors. I don't know how that works. Smoking stuff, it doesn't feel good, like in my chest.
Yeah.
But it's like, Bobby smokes weed. And so that's what that does to me. I'm like, hey, man. Like, I think that would be interesting. Like, to see the
I don't
effect
know,
of somebody
but-
who's never had it done to them and how they feel about it, because I've just done nothing.
How do you do it in a way that doesn't encourage other people just doing it?
I don't
'Cause
think
like,
it's
Bobby did it.
I don't think it's a non-encourage or an encourage.
Okay.
I think it is strictly a clinic. I would compare it to the making of the X-ray.
Yeah. Or the defibrillator.
Exactly.
Because like I could understand your desire to do LSD for
For sure.
a therapeutic
All the new,
experience.
Just watch the new Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, and reading like Steve Jobs and all those guys that did LSD or acid as something that changes the brain wiring a bit, like adds these synapses. So.
They would do it like in enclosed rooms, though, right? Like they
They don't
okay.
like go to a rave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then do acid,
Okay,
then come
okay.
out and be like, oh, I've changed. So that would be interesting. Like, what's cocaine feel like? Everybody acts like,
Oh, I don't want you to try that.
well, I
That's
don't want
not-
me to try any of it, but I think it'd be a fun show. Like
So
a-
you
But
would do
why
all
you
of them?
What if
Yeah.
you get
The one that-
addicted to one of them?
that showbiz, baby.
No.
The one that I
No, you have addiction in your
No.
family.
Interesting.
Showbiz.
Like I feel like that's just like, but a controlled.
Those are the rest of the seasons, Amy.
I can sign up for a controlled like psychedelic type situation, but not you just like snorting cocaine that could be laced with fentanyl and then you die.
Well, I would make sure I'd have somebody. I'd do like all the dictators did. Have somebody do it before I did it to see if they died.
Whatever.
Season
I feel
10,
like
Bobby's on the street.
If you tried cocaine, you would like
Dang, this show's never going to end.
you would get hooked.
Well, so
You
okay. but again, it's not about the enjoyment of the drugs, which I'm sure there's enjoyment, and I'm sure I would enjoy them immensely. I've just not done any of it, not for any moral reason whatsoever, but because I have always been afraid I would get addicted because of all the addiction in my family. But I just think that'd be really compelling to watch somebody who's never done anything do it all and then show the effects. Like needles would start to be, I'd probably draw the line.
Oh, really?
Like the dragon, I probably wouldn't want to chase the dragon.
What, heroin?
Yeah.
The H.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, that's probably.
But I mean, if ratings were down, they're like, we really need you to chase the dragon.
I mean, I feel like that's stuff you see on the
Like the
dark web.
Like peyote or like
that'd
the
be
Aaron
cool.
Rodgers stuff where he goes down.
Alusha or Alahusha.
All that stuff would be interesting.
What about fentanyl?
Ashwagandha? Is that what you were trying to say?
Ashwagandha is like
No.
something
you can
get
take
inside
that
of
over the
yeah.
counter.
Yeah, that's like supplements now.
Well, I couldn't tell what Lunchbox was trying to say, honestly.
oh, got it.
You just don't. You haven't read about Aaron Rodgers. Then.
Oh, that's what I haven't watched a documentary, but he's real into. What did he do? What's it called?
Yeah.
Sure.
No, ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Yeah.
Yes. Not what he said.
Ayahuasca,
Yes.
like ketamine type stuff.
Ketamine is
which
also
I did.
an interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, I did under the guide of a therapist, controlled. It's legal here in the
You
state
don't have
of
to like put your hands up.
Tennessee.
You don't-
I know, but I was some
Amy's
people.
putting her hands up like she's getting arrested. Hey, guys, hands are up.
Well, because some people go to like some shaman in the middle of nowhere. I didn't do that. I went to my therapist who has specialized in it for like 7 or 8 years. And I took a very teeny tiny amount. But let me tell you why. I was seeing some crazy things. Like my sister was a frog.
What the?
Really? In person?
No, like
Oh,
in the
in your
water.
head, like, I
no,
thought
we
you meant-
were in the
Okay.
water, and she would pop up out of the water as a frog.
But she
That was
wasn't
my-
there.
She was not there, but she was my sister. But she was a frog.
But your sister wasn't there. You were visualizing your
no,
sister.
she was
as
in
a-
my brain.
Right.
Yes,
we were
like,
thinking you were seeing her in person, and
She was a frog.
she was a frog
no,
in person.
In my 3-hour
Amy.
my 3-hour escape or
Yeah.
however long I was laying there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
all that's great. Okay. Look, why LSD might help the brain, but I still think Bobby Does Drugs is a funny show that I probably never do. But that's 6 solid episodes on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Like
yeah, but I'm gonna be nervous the entire time.
me too.
Okay.
But I mean, first you have some shots with the boys.
Okay, that's part of it.
I've
for
always wanted
sure.
to do that one.
Yeah.
And then you smoke weed,
Yeah.
and then you're like, wow. And then what would the order? Let me go. I go shots. I go weed.
Then you get
I
the
do
white
coke.
stuff.
I do cocaine.
Yeah.
Then I do cocaine.
Crack.
No,
Whoa.
Mm-mm.
That's a big jump.
Yeah,
it's a big jump. You're talking about dirty coke.
Well,
You're
I'm
talking
out
about
of drugs. I don't
No.
know.
Oh, then they have
'Cause you
like
said-
mushrooms, right?
Amy's like one.
yeah, mushrooms.
Amy's like, then we share needles with all those people. She's like going into dark place.
No, Amy.
So okay, hold on. Let me get my 6-episode series here.
Okay.
Number 1, shots with the boys is what I call that one. Number 2, smoking weed, getting chill. Number 3, nose candy.
There we go.
That's what I call that episode. Nose candy. I've never even seen cocaine.
Oh, and then heroin with the homies.
I don't think I'm doing heroin.
Well, I'm out of drugs.
Number 4.
That's a lot more.
Number 4, ecstasy.
There we go.
Oh my gosh. No.
But you gotta go.
With
You gotta rave though. You
who?
gotta rave though.
Oh.
I need a pacifier
Yeah.
and a mesh shirt with my nipples cut out.
Is
And
that
glow
like
sticks.
Molly?
Yeah.
Same thing?
Yeah. So okay, hold on. So that's 4. Ecstasy's 4.
What's
And
the
if-
name
if
of
I-
that episode?
Molly with Miley. You get Miley Cyrus with it.
Ecstasy with everyone.
I don't have a name yet for that one.
Okay.
I really got to come back to
Midnight
that
Molly.
one. Well, it's not Molly. I'm taking ecstasy because I'm not giving it the nickname.
Oh.
But
Okay.
won't you, doesn't it make you want to take your clothes off?
It does, dude.
They'll mostly already
Some
be off.
people-
My mesh shirt with my nipples out. And
The
my
mesh shirt.
okay, so that's 4 episodes. I want to do LSD, so acid would be 5. And then what's my finale though? Like
It's got to be meth.
Death.
crystal meth.
Crystal. Oh my gosh, dude.
Like there's a lot of meth where I come from, but it ain't crystal. Crystal's expensive. Crystal's like clean expensive for the most
Okay.
part. Where I come from, we do like Drano meth.
Yeah,
you
that's
make it with a bunch of chemicals and a
homemade
trailer.
labs.
Yeah. So yeah,
So you end on meth.
I end on crystal meth.
That's a solid.
And then I
season.
review them all at the end of each episode.
Yeah, like it would be you like all high and everything, but then you would come afterwards and be like, oh, so this is what happened. This is how I felt.
The bonus episode, I do bath salts if I come back.
What, you sniff those? What do you do?
I don't know. People used to go crazy on them though there for a
Yeah.
while. Or I break off the top of those cans, whippets.
Oh no, Steve-O used to do those.
I don't even know
man,
what
that
a
was
whippet. I
bad.
don't even know what a whippet is if it's a part of another one, but it's just like a breathe in, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Steve-O was on those, man. That was so bad to watch.
So bad.
Man, Bobby Does Drugs would be the show. Here's how LSD helps the brain. Under LSD, areas of the brain that don't usually talk to each other start communicating. Think of it like your brain switches from email to a giant group chat. This can lead to new insights, creativity, and emotional breakthroughs. This is what Steve Jobs would do.
But like, does it know which ones it's communicating with? Like, what if like
don't know, dude.
pooping communicates with handshaking?
You mean the parts of the brain?
Yeah, like I don't want them communicating.
That'd be difficult. It quiets the default mode network, what they call the DMN. This is a part of the brain tied to ego, self-criticism, rumination, and that little voice that never shuts up. LSD turns the volume down on that part, which is why some people feel free, deeply connected, or like their sense of self has been dissolved in a peaceful way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's also used for depression, anxiety, and PTSD, and they've had massive success with micro-dosing LSD. It can reset rigid thought patterns. In depression or anxiety, your brain can get stuck in loops. Same thoughts, same reactions. LSD can act like a mental shakeup, helping the brain form new pathways and perspectives. That's why researchers compare it to hitting a mental reset button. It boosts serotonin. LSD mimics serotonin, the brain chemical tied to mood, memory, and learning, but it does it in a very unusual way, activating serotonin receptors more powerfully and in different brain regions than usual. And it says, important notes, this doesn't mean LSD is safe for everyone. It's powerful, unpredictable, and can be dangerous without proper context. Use guided therapy sessions, small doses, and medical supervision. Amen.
Mm-hmm. You should watch that documentary. There's a book too, but it's on Netflix. Netflix called "How to Change Your Mind." A journalist did what you're doing. He went and did like each episode is him trying a different.
Wait, he did my show?
No, that's different. Like psychedelic.
Oh,
He didn't do like shots with.
The boys.
oh, because he
Yeah.
probably already drank.
I have no idea. He's
Dang,
he was
somebody got my show.
older, like a journalist. I know that he wrote a book, and I ended up my therapist when I was starting the ketamine. She had me watch it on Netflix.
What'd the frog tell you?
My sister,
Yeah.
the frog. I don't really know that she told me anything, but I just felt things from her. That was the first time. The second time, she was a zebra on a drum kit.
Let's go.
But you know what that
Playing the
told me?
drums?
Yeah, she was good. She was like keeping the beat of my life, and that she's like my.
She was a zebra.
She's
playing
like
drums?
my North Star, you know? Because like
Bob Marley over here has been going at it. We had
Yeah,
no idea.
because but it showed me like she's like because my mom died, my dad died, like my older sister, like she's who.
But
I don't know
but
when
why
I think
zebra?
about her being. I don't know, but like even right now, like my throat starts to tighten up when I think about it because it's a real emotional experience. Like I'm not crying in a bad way at all. It
No, the
just
drum's a great, wonderful like metaphor. The
for
zebra is the
keeping
part
the
I'm
beat.
like,
I know, and it's not like she was a full zebra. It was just a zebra head.
she's like Manitor.
She was just a zebra head, and she was like, but keeping the beat of my life. Like anytime I felt lost, there she was, keep it with the beat. And so it was like for me, she's like my guide.
Yeah, I like it.
And yeah, and my mom and my dad, they were like laying next to me in the ocean. Like I was alive and floating, but they were next to me, dead and floating, but they were there with me, and it was real comforting. It was really wild. But I will say, when I came out of it,
Were you naked?
I vomited.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like
Were you naked?
No, fully clothed with a blanket. The thing about ketamine that I found to be good, I don't know anything about all these other
Like, what do you wear?
drugs
Like,
you could take. I would show
Like
up in my
sweats?
clothes. You could show up in sweats, but sometimes I wore jeans. And then I had like a blanket. She puts a mask over your eyes.
I'd be afraid somebody's recording me.
No, she's there with you the whole time. Like you're a person. No, but there's music. There's
Or I'd
music.
be afraid. Here's my fears. I'd be afraid I would just start taking a dump places, like out in the open, or I'd start whacking off. One of the two
Yeah.
things.
Well, so the great thing about ketamine, which I think is, why she loves it so much, is that is one where I don't know if some of the others you take and you're off in this other world and you don't have awareness of where you are in the moment. What I was taking, I was away in my la la land in my brain, but I also was aware that I was in a room and
Were
I
you
could
aware
feel
that
my
you were in La La
hands.
Land?
I was aware. I was in, like it was like a dual experience.
Right. Were you aware that you were in La La Land?
Yes, like I was aware that sometimes I was on a roller coaster in a rice field. Like it was
What in the world?
Yeah,
That's
like,
cool.
my brain, and you couldn't stop it. Like I was like on like a just imagine being in a rice field. A lot of Asian influence in my would pop up like in my trips, I guess you call them.
How many times did you do this?
3.
So were they all different? Frog, zebra?
All different. Yeah, zebra was time 2, frog was 1. Also in 1, I would emerge from the ocean like like when a gymnast sticks her landing after she does her whole routine, like she's done her floor routine and then she I kept emerging out of the water with like a pose, but I really feel like I was like, it was me being like, you've got this. Like, here you are. Like, have confidence. Emerge. Like, you're okay. Because I did it after my divorce and having to like take on a lot of new stuff that I was just terrified of.
But after the trip, we'll call them trips, the experiences, whatever you want to call them, right?
Yeah.
I'm not minimizing. I just don't know what to call them.
I don't either.
After your experiences, what was the long-term benefit? Like, did you feel, were you rewired in a way for months?
A lot of yes, I will say my inner voice and that would speak to me, my inner dialogue was so much kinder. It's almost like, to your point, when you go to the dentist and you get that laughing gas and you're like,
I was like, love is what life's
Right.
all. I mean, I was
You're
so
not-
high. It was
right.
awesome.
You're not anxious about anything. You're not paranoid. You're not thinking about anything. I would say you
I was
have
also,
that
my
feeling.
dentist told me I was whacking off though while I was on it.
Oh, really?
Stop.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, he didn't. No, and you're not doing again. I don't know. Maybe
Can
you
you
should.
imagine you're a dentist, some of the laughing gas, all of a sudden they start whacking off?
They wouldn't tell you.
That would. That's
Terrible.
disgusting.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Where was I?
I don't know.
I guess I'm just like, you have that freedom, like that inner voice. I used to loop a lot, like overthink thoughts, and I have freedom of that. Like, it sort of, it was described to me like this too. Like you have all these little cobwebs in your brain, and when you do a trip, like it goes in there with a little vacuum and sucks them all up. So my little cobwebs were some of my anxious thinking and my overthinking and analyzing and paranoia, and like all that was just gone.
Final question. Did someone have to prescribe this for you, or could you just
Yes.
show up somewhere?
No, my therapist had to set me up an appointment with the doctor here locally. I go to him, then he prescribes it to me. I go to a compounding pharmacy, I pick up my ketamine, and then I take it to her. And she puts it in a little cup, and we have a little ceremonial experience with it in the wooden bowl. And then
In like an office?
in her office, and I stick it under my tongue for 15 minutes, and you can't swallow. So you're sitting there for 15 minutes, no swallowing, and it tastes horrible. And you can't eat. You have to go on a fasted stomach. And then all of a sudden, it's time to lay down. And then you lay down and you disappear into your little world. And then you wake up and good luck.
And how quick till it goes away?
I mean, pretty quick. Like my body just reacts in like a sick way. So I had the vomiting, but you can take, what's that anti-nausea pill? You can take that. Pregnant people take it.
don't know.
Dang it. Zofran.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
can
get
ta-
Zofran
yeah.
whenever I get like NAD injections. I'll do Zofran so I don't get sick.
So you can take Zofran and that'll help you not get sick from it. But it's crazy. I still have one little lozenge or whatever left. I kind of want to go back.
Spin
Bring
the
it.
wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Wow.
Spin the wheel.
That sounds illegal,
That'd be fun.
Okay.
but
Okay, let's go to our interview with Runaway June. We had Runaway June in. Watch their performances on the YouTube channel. It's super good, super fun. Here they are, Runaway June. You can cut the video, or we can just keep going, Ray. What do you want to do?
Keep on our end, it doesn't matter. We can keep
All
it
right,
on our
we'll just
side.
keep going then. You good, Eddie?
Keep it going here?
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
Good.
It keeps on the podcast too. So the female crew went up to space for 11 minutes, and so I want to play some of this and have some thoughts, and then have thoughts on other people's thoughts. So the Blue Origin rocket went up, and so this is the Bezos machine. It's Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, who's Bezos' wife or fiance or girlfriend, one of those three. I'm not sure where they are in the relationship. Aisha Bowe, Gail King, Amanda Wynn, Carrie Ann Flynn. Don't know who all of them are, but I know I worked with Katy Perry for a bunch of years. I wouldn't want her to do this. Like, if it's free, I'm still not doing it. I don't like to fly, much less going up in a spaceship. But they go up, they lifted off from West Texas at 9:31 a.m. They traveled to the edge of space where they experienced a brief period of weightlessness before returning to Earth. The whole flight lasted about 11 minutes. And here is a clip. Hit it, please.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give, and how loved you are until the day you launch.
Sounds like she took Amy's lozenge.
Ketamine.
Yeah.
That's what she sounds like.
Yeah.
She's like, and Bezos was a frog up there. That's crazy.
The zebra head.
Are they astronauts?
No.
No.
No,
Negative.
that's the stupidest thing they've ever. I mean, what a dumb statement.
You're not an astronaut. It's fine.
You rode on a rocket ship.
I guess
that,
technically is what they're
I
saying.
mean,
though.
But an astronaut, I think there is an education you have to actually be an astronaut.
Right.
Like, we fly in airplanes, but we're not pilots.
Yeah, but we don't go to space. And we didn't, good point on the pilots, but we don't actually navigate the plane. I would say astronauts, not all of them actually navigate the ship. Some have other roles. But I think an astronaut has to have an education.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at the
Candidates need
definition.
to be U.S. citizens, possess at least a master's degree in a STEM field, have at least 2 years of related professional experience, or 1,000 hours as a jet pilot, and pass a NASA long-duration flight physical. That's an astronaut.
So if you went to space, you're just someone that went
You're
to space.
Yeah, you're a
yeah,
passenger.
you just had a lot of money.
I don't think they paid for it.
Oh, really? Oh, so it was all
Or
free.
you got
okay.
an invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do this?
God, no.
Really?
You would
Yeah,
do
when
that
they were taking
free?
off, I was like, well, this could be it. Like, just like
But
that.
I think that every Southwest flight, though, too.
Yeah,
This
same.
could be it.
I do too. I was watching Oprah having to watch her best friend and be like, I wonder if she's going to die.
That's Gail King.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any threat of them dying any more than driving the car down the road.
What?
There's never been one that goes up and has died. People have died.
They're gone for 10 minutes, Amy.
Yeah.
I know, but
I mean,
just
that's
when it's a
quicker than you get to
rocket
the
taking
store.
off, I just thought like anything, like it could just, there's just a lot of,
I wouldn't want to do it. I don't like heights. I don't even like walking on the balcony for the record.
okay, I
So
guess.
Six
that
floors.
for me is what it's about. I don't even like that.
I guess
So they
not.
literally just go straight up.
Yep.
They get to the edge, you can see the Earth's curvature, and then you come down.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool
It is
if that's
cool.
your thing, because there's only 100 people that have done it.
Yeah.
So it's like 5 minutes up, 5 minutes down, or is it like 2 minutes up and 8 minutes down? Like that is so dumb.
It's probably quicker down, I bet.
I don't think it's dumb.
I bet
think
it's
it's
slower
really, I mean,
down
Really, with a gravity pool?
with the parachute.
Oh, I don't even know how they do it. I would think.
I don't think they
did read-
cannonball into the ocean. I think at one
No, there's
point
a
the
parachute.
parachute comes out, and
Yeah.
it's like when you skydive. Like the fastest part is like the brief part, and then they pull the freaking chute, and it grabs your nuts, and then it
point.
takes forever to get down.
Good point.
yeah, the free fall is fast.
Olivia Wilde had a few choice words about Blue Origin's first all-female flight crew. And so this is where I kind of take a bit of issue, and I'll tell you why in a second. But Olivia Wilde, by the way, she was Harry Styles' ex, but she's a famous actress, Jason Sudeikis' ex-wife, right?
Yeah, she was in the OC back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
She's done
She
other
was
work.
in OC?
Yeah, I think that was her debut.
Wow.
So the whole thing about Olivia Wilde, she was like, I guess that $1 billion bought some good memes, I guess, meaning they spent all this money for something that really doesn't make any difference in the world, right? There's $1 billion. If you're going to make statements like this, and I agree, that's $1 billion, it's a lot, you could have done a lot with it, but then you better not be wearing anything brand name. You basically have to be a Buddhist if you're going to make the statement of, well, look at what you're wasting money on. Because you could probably go to Olivia Wilde's house and find jewelry, find expensive cars, and go, oh, well, you could have done so much. It's all relative.
Yeah, because $1 billion of Jeff Bezos is.
But even $1 billion, let's say not Jeff Bezos, in general, $1 billion would have helped a whole lot of people.
Oh,
But also for her to say that, then she better not be spending a bunch of money recklessly or buying things that don't matter whenever that money could go to help people as well. It's a very glass house thing to say. When you're pocket watching other folks or pocket watching other people's activities, you're going to have your own pocket watched back, which means, okay, you're talking about other people's pockets, what they have in them, let's look in yours. So although I agree that's way expensive, they could have done a lot with that. Who knows what they're learning every time they go up? I don't know what they're doing. But also, I'm just not going to tell people what to do with their money because I don't want people telling me what to do with my money. Secondly, people don't know really what I'm doing with my money. And thirdly, if you're going to say that about somebody's money, you better be freaking on your P's and Q's with your money. So I didn't really like that she said that. I agreed in principle, but not really. Like, you can't do that. You can't pocket watch in general. So I didn't like that. But who cares? Olivia Wilde will never hear this. So, Miles from our a Toronto, or you're not ours though, are you? You're just a friend, but I guess you're not in our company, are you?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
I'm under the iHeartRadio umbrella.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Miles is back here for a second day, and what'd you do last night? Because I know last night you were kind of on your own.
Yeah, last night I went out for dinner, just
By yourself?
really cool Loki spot. Yeah.
What's kind of because you grew up in Scotland for the most part,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, England, Scotland. Yeah.
Where did you spend more years as a child?
Manchester in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, Manchester. My wife wanted to go watch Oasis do their first show in Manchester because that's where they formed.
So this is a wild story. I don't know if there's any other Oasis fans in the room or
Yes.
any of those kind of
Yeah, man.
Britpop 90s bands.
Yeah.
So my dad being a radio guy, as I mentioned yesterday, I'm a radio nepo baby. So basically he purchased the house that we grew up in had a recording studio in the basement, and that's why he bought the house. And it was Johnny Marr's house from the Smiths, the guitarist of the Smiths. That also became like a really iconic recording studio for a lot of Manchester bands, and Oasis recorded their album Definitely Maybe
Really?
in the basement of the house I grew up in.
Dang,
That's pretty cool. Did
Yeah.
the studio stay there in a form? Like, did your dad use it?
In a
or-
form, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason, because he wanted somewhere soundproof with, the big heavy doors. It was like real old school. It had the window like you guys have in here and stuff. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
And that was like our playroom as kids growing
Dude,
up.
that's such a cool story if you're a
Yeah.
nerd. Did they still have the whole console? Was the console there, like the board?
Most of the equipment was taken out, but like all the soundproofing in the rooms and
Yeah.
stuff was still there. And we used to get memorabilia, and people like come over from North America and like knock on the house, and like because they knew that was the house. It was crazy.
You were the Full House of
Yeah.
Manchester. Yes. So my wife, not an Oasis fan, or she wasn't because she missed it. She's 11 years and some months younger than I am. But Oasis went super viral on TikTok in general when they announced they were getting back together. So they were on everything. So she's like, man, I kind of like Oasis, like some of the songs. And so for a while, she's like, should we go to Manchester?
Yeah.
And should we go to the first Oasis show? And we decided not to because I was like, I'll just wait till they come here. I don't want to fly. But so Manchester is where you grew up.
Yeah.
I almost did a TV show in Manchester because like James Corden, a big TV producer,
Yeah.
and I talked to them about doing a show, but we had to go shoot the whole thing in Manchester. And first it was like, hey, do you want to go to Europe and shoot this show for 2 weeks?
Was it Ben Winston?
Yeah,
His producer guy?
I think so.
Yeah.
So then it was Manchester, and Manchester's not London though, I learned.
It's not. I think it's cooler than London. I just think it's like way easier to get around, and there's just more. I think there's just like more underground cool places to go.
Whenever you grow up in the UK, what's the culture though of going to do things by yourself? Is it different than here? Because here, I did it, but they all made fun of me my whole life. They're like, "Oh, you're a loser," and I was, but that was
In
it.
what way? What kind of things?
Movies,
Okay.
dinners,
Yeah.
just stuff, just general what you would do for fun, recreationally. I would do a lot of that stuff by myself. So, is that looked at as, man, if you're doing stuff by yourself in the UK, you're a loser? Is that same?
I think you're asking the wrong guy, because I love solo travel and I love doing things on my own.
And I did a lot of solo travel, but it's because I didn't have anybody to go with.
But I think, yeah, there's a lot of big people go out in groups, especially like the after work drinks culture in the UK is huge. Go to a pub. Everyone's at a pub.
I love that.
They're everywhere.
You just like a bar. You just like
Yeah.
the pub.
Oh,
You just
dude.
like that here too.
Can you imagine after the show, be like, all right, we're going to the pub? All right, let's go.
There's a difference between a pub and a bar. I
Oh,
will
there
say
is?
a pub is just this real cozy atmosphere where you know the guy behind the bar, they know you. You come in, your drink's being poured before you get in. It's like the usual, yep. And sometimes they do what's called a lock-in at the end of the night.
Isn't that just a small bar though?
Yeah. Neighborhood
Okay.
bar.
Like a small, no, not the same?
No,
You ever lived in America?
never. I've always wanted to. It was always my dream. Always wanted to live in the US. I don't know why. Even because I told you guys this week that I used to live in Dubai and work in Dubai, every single vacation day was used to come to the US. I would fly like 13 hours to come to the US.
Where have you been? What cities?
I've been to New York a bunch. I've been to LA. I've been to Florida a bunch. I've been to
Where in Florida? Because Florida's like
yeah,
three
I've been
different
everywhere.
countries.
Miami, Orlando, Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, those are all different countries.
Been all
You've
over
been to three
Yeah,
different
yeah.
countries in Florida.
Yeah, I've been to Boston. Love Boston. That was great.
Yeah, Boston's awesome. So last night you went to dinner by yourself?
I went to dinner by myself. Yeah, this real trendy kind of East Nashville spot. It was good.
Do you like FaceTime your fiance, wife? I
Yeah.
don't know what you're calling
Yeah,
her now.
I don't know.
Do you like at dinner and put AirPods in and talk to her?
No, I'll send her a pic of like the food and make her jealous and be like, "Hey, I'm at this really cool spot. You would love it. Wish you were here."
Dang.
But I won't FaceTime.
Why didn't she come?
we're saving. She's trying to save all like her work vacation days for the wedding because we're going to try and take a bunch of time off in July for that.
Do you have enough work vacation days for the wedding?
Yeah. I do.
He said for his bachelor party, he doesn't know where he's going, but except they all know where he's going, but they're going to put him on a plane and he's not going to know where he's going.
Whoa,
That's
Cool,
fun.
dude.
I don't know if it's cool. I'm nervous, but yeah, we'll find out. It could be
Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better like it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where it's going to be, but I know there's golf involved.
Okay.
So that's all I
Probably
know.
Miami because I got the best strip club.
Well, I said Arizona, and he goes, no, Portugal. I forget he doesn't live in America.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And a lot of his friends are in the UK, so they're probably
yeah.
all going closer
Yeah.
to there.
There's 12 of us going. 4 of them are from Canada, including my fiance's dad. He's coming along.
Oh,
And
man, that's
then-
weird.
Yeah.
But your dad's going too, right?
My dad's going too. And he's sober. He's been sober for 5 years, and I think he's gonna.
You gonna break him?
I think he's gonna cave.
No.
5 years.
You're joking.
I mean, for his son, he might do it.
I think he might.
But,
I don't think he needs to
but
do it
what's
for his son, though. It's not-
sobriety based on? Like, was it just a choice he decided one day he wanted to be sober?
Yeah.
Or is it like out of like necessity because
It's
it's
funny.
a real problem?
I think when someone says I'm sober. I mean, Bobby, you probably get this a lot. But for people that don't know that you've never drank, when you say I'm sober, people think you had some
Yes.
crazy scenario. Or
I
some
was an
crazy-
alcoholic, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
but no, he wasn't. He enjoyed a drink at the weekend, like just a couple beers. I think as he got older, as he hit 60, I think, or he was nearing 60, he was like, I really don't miss this. The hangovers are getting worse.
Gotcha.
So he just chose not to
So
drink.
it's not like he's like working the program.
No.
Okay, and then you're like, I think he might break it.
And he couldn't do it without the zero alcohol stuff. He loves the non-alc beers. Fridge is full of it. Like he loves it. He loves the taste.
So you have to, if I'm right here, you have to acquire that taste. Like no one
Yes.
likes beer the first
Nah,
time.
not the first
But
time.
then you acquire it so much that it's good.
Yes.
That's a question.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah. And then you start realizing that different beers taste different, and so you start gravitating to like, I like this beer better than that one.
So you hate it, and then you work your way into liking it just enough to get drunk, but then you work your way into liking it enough to where you actually do like it, where it doesn't even matter if you get drunk now. So if you're not drinking, you just drink what used to just taste bad without getting the effect of being drunk.
You'll see. You'll see on episode 1 of Bobby Does Drugs.
Thanks. Okay.
You pretty much summed it up perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever drink any of the non-alcoholic beer?
Yeah,
Does it taste like beer?
it's good.
Really?
Some of it's good.
Some of it's good. Some of it's like way off.
I've never had it. I just didn't see the reason to.
Yeah,
that.
unless you weren't.
Yeah,
Unless you were purposefully not drinking, there'd be no reason to pursue it.
right. I want the real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. You know, he also has a wrestling YouTube channel.
Really?
Like for yourself?
No, I don't wrestle.
No,
Like,
no.
But I.
Yeah, you're a fan.
I'm a big WWE fan. Yeah, lifelong fan. Yeah.
So he was talking yesterday because we had Shawn Michaels on, and Eddie's not really a wrestling fan. And so but Eddie's a big UFC guy. So when it's UFC stuff, Eddie's like the
Love
expert.
it.
But if it's wrestling, I get really jacked. I think it's awesome. We had Shawn Michaels, who is a legend. Like he's one of the greatest of all time.
Hall of Famer.
And so he was on, and we were talking yesterday on 25 Whistles, and we finished, and we walked down to have lunch, and he was like, "Yeah, I knew he was a fan, but he's like, I have a YouTube channel." And he started talking about all the wrestlers. It was pretty cool. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome," because most people look at us like, well, I should say, people in this room look at me like I'm a child.
No,
I
when
like
you said
wrestling.
yesterday, like, first of all, me being here was like bucket list, and then you were like, "Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels on the podcast today." I was like, "What?" I texted my brother. I went to the washroom. I texted my brother. I was like, "You'll never guess who's on the podcast today."
So are you into like current wrestling?
Yeah, watched Raw last night. WrestleMania this weekend. I made no plans because I will be watching.
Where is it
2
at?
nights in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah,
Two nights.
I've been to 2. Hey Eddie, I've been to AT&T Stadium to
Oh,
see WrestleMania.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
We were talking to Shawn Michaels, and this is the end of the interview, and I never know. And if we're doing it Zoom, and I never know, and Shawn Michaels, he doesn't care about us. And also, people, when they finish an interview with me, either they're like, "What the F was that?" or, "Oh, that was cool." It's rarely in sports is it just normal. And so we were talking with Shawn Michaels, and I'm going to play this like 30 seconds. And we were wrapping up, and I was a little caught off guard with what he said at the end of the interview. And I was like, "Wait, what? Tell me more." So this is us with Shawn Michaels yesterday.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, hell of an interview, by the way. Thank you. This is a lot of fun for me. I appreciate it.
Why?
You're an interesting, smart wrestling fan that sometimes
thanks.
it's a lot of the same old. And so not making it just sort of a, I don't know, copy and paste kind of interview.
What would copy and paste? I don't know what a copy and paste is, but I don't know. What's a copy and paste question?
What was it like winning your first championship?
Got it.
I appreciate the fact also, again, I guess that you're a wrestling fan that understands both sides of it and has an appreciation. I'm always interested and compelled by the overselling and how you guys feel about kicking out of too many things and stuff like that.
So I was just asking him, like, hey, everybody knows it's not real, and they talk about that now. Like they'll talk about the storylines as it's going on, like in different interviews. And I was just kind of talking about it, and he was like, I thought he was messing with me. He was like, oh, heck of an interview, and I was like, are you serious? And then he kept going. Yeah, it's super cool.
That's nice.
Yeah. When do you go home?
I go home tomorrow morning.
How has the experience been here?
Amazing. I told you yesterday at lunch, I had really high expectations, being a fan and a listener for so many years, and just meeting you all guys, you've all been amazing, and the work ethic is inspiring.
Oh,
whose?
Now we feel like you're like, are you being serious or are you messing with us?
No, I appreciate that, man.
It's like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You're literally asking just like you did, Shawn.
I think
So, like,
it's always good when you do something for a living to see other people at work and just, sit on the sidelines and watch, because I think it can give you new ideas and just, just think how you guys work and how you guys interact. It's just a well-oiled machine.
It's definitely a machine.
It just goes.
Yeah, even during breaks. It's like nothing stops.
Yeah.
There are times where I have to remind myself that people need to go to the bathroom.
like I do.
Like right now, for sure.
Like, because we'll just go and I'll just
Do
go.
you need us to wrap this up?
No, I am just gonna either that or pee.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, Amy's got a little tub over there.
But it's great.
I have a little tub.
Yeah.
A little.
But we're all friends. It's fine. But I will say that I'm a big radio guy, as are you, and I know a lot of you are, but I'm not a big fan of many people. As in, I just don't. I get annoyed when I listen to the radio, and when I watch clips on social media and stuff. But with you guys, I don't, and it's refreshing. I don't know.
Why do you think that is?
Because you're just not the traditional radio wacky morning show that, just annoying.
Do you think we're any different when the mics go off than when the mics are on?
No, I mean, but I think. I suppose when people meet radio people in person as well, they expect them to be on 24/7, like on and on and on. And I didn't expect you guys to be like you. We sit here in silence, but it doesn't mean that anyone's angry with anyone, or it's just you're just on when you need to be on. Yeah, it's great. Was that the right answer?
I'm sitting in silence. I was really committed to the silence angle. Yeah.
He didn't know what to say.
I was committed to the silence angle.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. We're doing a podcast today. Lots to say, the NFL show. So you're gonna come over to the house and do that?
I would love to.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see if there's anything else I needed to mention before we go. I can run some voicemails. I should do this before we go. Ray, give me number 2.
Morning, studio. So a little while back, Bobby was teasing that somebody might be leaving the show, and here we are a few months later, and no one's left yet. So I was just wanting to get an update on that. Is somebody still possibly leaving the show, or have they decided they're not going to do that? And could you tell us who it was? Thanks.
Everything's still on.
What?
Everything I said's happening is still in the mix.
Oh, yes.
It's still happening.
You know Amy?
I think so.
You think so or you know so?
I know so.
She does?
Yeah, you told me.
Oh, no crap.
Yeah.
You did. It's fine. I'm not going to say anything.
It's going to be a sad day.
You don't know.
Okay.
You don't know. You're acting like it, right?
The other thing is the envelope, right? Like I have the envelope. I wrote a prediction in the envelope last year. I know what's in the envelope. I would let one of you guys read what's in the envelope, but I don't know that I can share what's in the envelope.
Why?
What's in the
Why are
envelope
you looking at me
is
like that?
different than what we were just talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different than someone leaving. He said he had...
Stop. You don't...
No, he said it at the beginning of the year.
And what's it? People ask, hey, what's the update on the envelope? What's in the envelope is true.
About.
And I think what I could do is spin the wheel, and I could put you 4 on the wheel, Amy, Lunchbox, Morgan, Eddie, and whoever wins could just look, and you can. I can't allow you to say, maybe at some point, but I'm right.
That's awesome.
I don't. Maybe it's not awesome that I'm right.
No. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah, I like that wheel
but
idea.
You couldn't say, and you're the only one that could see it. So if Morgan won or Lunchbox won, you couldn't say what it was.
That's fine.
Spin the wheel.
Well, no, we won't do it right now, but right, Mike?
Yeah. I think that's
So
how
how
we
do you
it.
know you're already right?
I know I'm right.
But at the time it was a prediction?
Yes.
And now you're right.
Well, remember he would play those
Absolutely.
games too, where like I don't know.
Oh no, I can put you. I can put you wherever I want to put you.
Right.
In the right environment, I literally can make you say whatever I want you to say. But it has to be right. I don't have any powers. You're not a fraud.
No, you have powers because
No.
like I remember you made me draw something and you didn't tell me to draw it and I just drew it.
Can you say?
No, I don't want to say too much.
Okay.
But people ask for the update on that. And this is not to say, oh, look
So
at me.
when will you open it?
I think I asked Mike like 2 weeks ago. I said, hey, should we do it now? And he was like, I wouldn't do it right now. So mostly, as usual, Mike tells me when I can have my thoughts. Because I have all my thoughts, and I tell them all to Mike, and then Mike's like, I think this would be a good time for your thought now.
Mike is like God.
Well, I have the thoughts. Mike doesn't give me the thoughts, but then Mike tells me once I give him the thoughts where he thinks they'd be appropriate to put the thoughts because I'm losing scale on what needs to go where at times because I'm doing like too many shows. I'm doing too many shows. The Yellowstone show's over, thank God. So that's done. But I was doing so much content that I didn't know where I said what. And so Mike keeps track of everything. And yeah, so someday.
Oh, the wheel though.
That's what I'm saying. Someday, when Mike says we're ready, I'll do it.
The wheel is someday.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I thought
the wheel would be like tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then you would open the letter someday.
But how do you know it's not about you?
I'd like to know by spinning the wheel.
That's a great point, Eddie. I felt like the wheel was like very soon, like in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, me too.
That's on Mike.
Mike, when's that wheel going to be able to be?
You don't have to give an answer, but you can say whatever you want.
I think we bury it
forever.
Yeah.
Just never open it.
Bury it.
What?
That's stupid, Mike.
Mike, turn off his mic.
But you're right. It's right. So
It's right.
So why bury it?
Because the way it became right, I don't think is right.
Whoa.
I would agree.
What the? Some dark stuff, man.
What?
Yeah.
But it has to do with one of us?
You don't know that, Morgan.
Is somebody
That's
dying?
what he had said before, that it had to do with somebody.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean us. It's just somebody.
But he would,
no.
he would put
on the show.
But if all four of us would be on the
I didn't
wheel, then
say
it's not a.
in the room, but on the show.
He said on the show.
Yes. Yes.
Dang.
So, but if we're on the wheel and we got to read it, it wouldn't be about us.
No, it could be about you. You could be the only one to read it and realize it was about you. But here's the thing. Here's my problem with it. The way it happened isn't the way that I envisioned it happening, and it ain't. It's just not good. I thought it would be good. It's not good.
Oh, that sucks.
Shut up. What are you talking about?
I thought it would be good.
That's what I mean. He said it's not good, so
It's
I said
not-
it sucks. that it's
The
not
way
good.
that it manifested itself was not the way that the expectation was. Therefore, it is not good.
Hold on. You predicted something.
Yes, I nailed it.
And then it happened.
Absolutely happened.
But yet we still can't find out what it is. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm kind of with you, Eddie, but I'm wanting
Like,
to be
if
able
it
to-
already happened, we should probably know it happened.
So can we make guesses?
Uh-oh, his head's on the mic.
No.
So it's just gonna.
You can guess.
It's just gonna
You can guess
die.
all day. Or we can just hold it for longer. But
And so Mike saying burying it means just don't ever tell anyone. Is that what that means?
But I will say it is real.
It is real.
I was absolutely right about it. I don't like that I was right about it because it did not happen how I thought it was going to happen, and then it happened, and then it wasn't. It's not positive.
I'll say it doesn't feel right now,
It
and I
doesn't.
don't know when it would feel right.
It's
That's
not
why I
positive?
say bury it.
If ever, yeah.
It's not positive.
I know it doesn't make. It's
It could be. It could be positive.
It's
Eh.
me not getting the job, man. It's okay, guys. We can talk
that's-
about that.
I doubt it.
I know, Eddie.
I
I'm
didn't
sure.
want to keep doing this because the listeners would be like, "Why do you always kick stuff?" All I wanted to do is say I still know it still exists in our world of thinking of what we want to do, and that's the update. It may actually never get open. It could. And
I feel like I know.
text me.
No.
Oh no, text me.
No. See how it feels?
She was.
Well done, Amy. Well
Got it,
done.
Amy.
No, I literally don't care. I just feel like it's not fair.
Well, I know. No, I'm just joking. The only reason why I'm scared to text you is because then if I'm wrong, like
Then you're
that's-
revealing something else.
No, it's just I don't.
But you won't tell her she's right if she texts you, right?
I was watching a video. This is what reminds me of. I was
seems
watching a video on
silly.
TikTok, and this teacher said he was in class and he had 6 students, and he saw one of them was cheating, but he couldn't catch them actually cheating, and he knew that something was up, but he couldn't catch them cheating, and he couldn't see the paper they were using, but he's like, I know for a fact they were cheating. So he said once the test all came in, all 6 of them came in. This is true. That all 6 students in the class, he said, hey, I know one of you was cheating, and all good. He said, but if you don't come forward, you're going to get a 0 because I know one of you was cheating. If you do come forward, you email me after class, I will let you retake the test, but you can only get a 50. But you have to email me and say, hey, I'll never do it again. He goes, I will not hold it against you, but I'll give you a chance to retake the test, but instead of 100, you can get up to a 50, which is going to be better than the 0 you're going to get because you were cheating. He knew who was cheating. He could not find it, so he did this to see if the person would message in. 5 of the 6 people messaged him said they were cheating.
5 of the 6?
So they were all cheating?
5 of the 6 were. He really only saw
Dang.
1, but 5 of the 6 were cheating.
That's genius.
And they all, but he wasn't doing
he
it for
didn't
that.
know that was going to happen.
But yeah, his mind was blown. He wasn't doing a trick. He was like, oh my God, 5 people said they were cheating out of the 6. I thought I only caught 1.
I'm going to do that with my kids. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for now we bury it.
I agree.
If you'd like to run it by me, feel free to.
Well, I'm trying to think of something.
You said you knew.
Yeah, you
I
said
have
you
an
had
idea of something.
Then
Well,
send
no,
that.
I'm just thinking of a scenario that didn't go.
Well, then send it
didn't
over.
manifest.
Hey, Ray, voicemail 3.
Just calling because I was listening to the podcast about the 3 most disappointing things and the pallet that Lunchbox can't get anything sold. I sell things all the time, and you just have to keep lowering the price by $5 every month or so. If you're not getting anybody asking about it, your price is too high. And then I was thinking, hey, Bobby, why don't you go ahead and get the whole pallet over for Scuba Steve to do? I bet he'll have everything sold in a month.
He would. Scuba Steve would have it all sold immediately. We're not talking about
Yeah, but we're not going to get pennies on the dollar for our stuff.
We're getting 0 on the dollar.
You're
now.
right, but you know what? Patience is a virtue.
It isn't.
It is.
It is, actually.
Actually, it
No,
is. Thank you.
With him, it's not patience.
It never gets done, Amy. You know that.
You're one to talk.
That's why I've just
You're one to
given
talk,
up.
Mr. Kidney.
But you just said patience. It is a virtue. Then you
It
said
is
you
a
gave
virtue.
up.
It is a virtue, just in general.
Yeah, but he was saying about him and this.
Yeah, and with this, my patience ran out, so I'm over it.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have virtue.
Last one, Ray.
I have a morning corny for Amy, although it might be a morning corny. After dark. So what do you call an Italian hooker? A prostitute. Thank you guys. Love the show.
Okay, that's good.
That's
That is
funny.
so good.
And that's not after dark. That's pretty good. That's like at dusk.
yeah,
dusk.
The
sunset.
morning corny at dusk.
Mm-hmm.
We'll end on this. Morgan has a photo shoot happening Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday.
What's going on?
So I got nominated by Abe's Garden, which is the place that Remy and I volunteer as an animal therapy team. I am one of the fresh faces of philanthropy for In Focus magazine.
Also hard
I
to say.
love that.
Fresh faces of
For
philanthropy.
philanthropy.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. So what's the photo shoot?
So they they have a stylist coming. It's a whole thing, and they take our photos. We do a whole interview with them, and we get featured in the magazine in the June issue.
Dang.
That means she can change her profile, right? To philanthropist.
You probably could do that anyway if you give like a lunchbox has a $2 that's a register.
PetSmart. Yeah, I'm like, hello, In Focus. Have you heard of me? I've been doing philanthropy.
Oh, you want to be in focus.
I mean, I didn't know what In Focus is, but I've done philanthropy for a long time. But
what's the last amount of philanthropy you did?
I hosted a charity event for Kid Power, their whole organization called Crossbridge, like a week ago.
There you go. You should let them know.
Boom.
I should.
Why did Kid Power nominate you?
Get you. Oh,
I have no idea. They're too busy, saving lives. So they don't have time to nominate me for a magazine.
is that what it is?
Yep.
Isn't Kid Power not about saving lives, but about giving kids a safe place to go?
Yeah, but they also have other organizations under their umbrella that is they have Restoration House where they take people suffering from abuse and addiction and they get them back on the right track of life. And
I just feel like you use that like they're saving lives.
But they
It's
are
just-
saving lives.
Yeah, yeah.
They're giving these kids a way out.
But
of
and I it's a great organization. I'm very familiar with it. But I'm saying you're using that as an excuse as to why they haven't nominated you. Is my only thing. I think they probably would like the publicity. They could probably use it.
Oh, maybe, but yeah,
Maybe
I mean,
next year.
and they're busy getting grants to build buildings and things. They're busy. They're over there, raising money.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Morgan, congratulations.
Thank
How you
you.
feeling? You better?
I'm feeling a little bit better, yeah. I still feel a little
Still-
congested, though.
Hear a little head cold in there.
Yeah, it's hanging out.
How's your anabargo going?
My vertigo.
There you go.
Anabargo. Thankfully, it's not coming on, but like any type of cold or illness can bring it on, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh no, this may ruin the photo shoot, guys. They may have to cancel.
Why do you go to that?
Oh no, I didn't know it came back with a new illness. I'm worried.
It could potentially.
Potentially.
Amy,
but
what's,
also, Lunchbox is probably the reason I'm sick.
Oh yes, he's the reason anybody gets sick in this place.
Here we go,
Mr. Yeast.
No chance she's sick because of me. There is 0% chance.
There's not zero. It's not zero.
Not.
You're the
always
only sick person I've been around.
You bring in illnesses all the time.
Morgan, have you gone out in public?
Yes, but you're
Oh,
also
so you
the
know all
sick-
those people weren't sick?
No, but her point is
No.
it
She
doesn't
said I was the
100%
only
matter.
sick person she's been around.
That
But if
I am
she's gone
aware
in
of.
public, then there are germs
But
in
you
public.
have been sick and you sit 3 inches from her.
Yeah,
I'm
for
not
several
sick.
hours a morning.
I've been sick in like a week, guys. There ain't no yeast up in here.
I heard you coughing today.
He was coughing today like, ugh.
No, I really wasn't.
Yes,
No.
you were.
We all heard you.
All right.
We had to do Bonehead like 4 times.
No, not today.
Yes, today.
Yes, today. Literally today.
No.
Scuba?
Incorrect. That'd be tell me something good, but you guys
Okay,
got
facts are facts. Another segment.
So
Fact
dumb.
check.
Another
Don't let
segment.
facts get in the way of a good story.
Okay, whatever.
Idiot.
Dang. Got him.
Miles, I hope you have a safe trip home. I'm going to see it, obviously, but what's your social media so people can follow you?
I'm at On Air Miles, and it's Miles with a Y.
And you're doing your show from here.
I am, yeah.
And what'd you talk about last night? Anything good? Anything we could have stolen?
Katy Perry going to space.
Did you hate on her like I did?
A little bit.
Yeah, good.
A little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Amy, on feeling things, what'd you guys do?
Yeah, the title of it is Peeing in Public.
Yes.
I do it all the time.
My kids do it.
No, it's like
Yep.
for women, especially like when you have to pee and you like have to do this little squat thing. Fertility struggles, and then also our feelings that we're breaking down, our shame versus guilt.
Well, that sounds fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it is fun.
I'm kidding.
It's
a joke. It's a joke. I'm just joking.
Oh, I know you
Just
are.
joking.
know
I mean,
you
the
take a
peeing in
joke.
public sounds fun.
Just joking.
We
Yeah,
have a
then
lot-
it got a little sad.
It's like a mixture of like therapy stuff, but also we laugh.
Just joking. Good, great. Check that out. And then I have Chris Tomlin on the Bobbycast if you want to check that out. Okay, that's it. And